Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning. You are with Mindful Movement with AARP Alabama, and I am your host, Margie Curry. And today's session is with our certified yoga instructor, Becca Impello, who is very experienced, and she's been teaching and practicing yoga for more than 20 years. Now, everybody, we do want you to remember AARP empowers people to choose how they live as they age. AARP is the nation's largest nonpartisan organization dedicated to empowering people 50 and older to choose how they live as they age. With a nationwide presence, AARP strengthens communities and advocates for what matters most to the more than 100 million Americans, 50 plus, and their families, health and financial security, and personal fulfillment. Learn more about AARP at aarp.org. AARP Alabama is committed to offering opportunities for you to stay involved from your home. All you have to do is tune in to us, and you can find any of our Mindful Movement programs there. It provides an opportunity for you to keep moving, keep going in the safety of your own home. Let's see what Becca has for us today. Becca.
Good morning, Margie.
Good morning, Becca. What do you have for us today?
Well, last time we were together, I've been telling folks that are watching to please, give us some comments, tell us what you enjoy, give us some requests. So last time someone mentioned they'd love some stretches for the wrists and the arms. So we're going to focus on the upper body today. We're going to do stuff for the shoulders and the shoulder blades, stretches for the arms, stretches and movements for the wrists. So that'll be our focus today. We'll get the whole body moving, but we'll do some extra work on those areas of the body.
All right. Sounds great. Sounds great. Remember, everybody, make sure you check with your physician before you begin any exercise program and that you are capable of participating in the program. All right, Becca, take it away.
Okay. All right. Well, we do this practice always based from a chair. That ensures that, more of our members can really participate and that we can meet a variety of levels. We'll sit in the chair some of the time, but we'll also have opportunities to stand, and you might continue to use the chair as something for balance or support. And sometimes we're going to just use the chair as a prop that we might put our weight on or use to assist us with some stretches. All right. So sit tall. Like I said, we're going to focus on the arms all the way to the hands today. So just take a moment to sit tall and just check in with yourself. Kind of just notice overall how you're doing in your whole body. What's your energy like today? What specifically do you notice about your shoulders, maybe into your upper back, your arms? All right, and we're going to do just a little breathing to start with because, yoga likes to incorporate breath, and breath is a great way to tap into and become more aware of our bodies. And we like to incorporate, our movement with our breath often. So we'll do a couple breaths where we raise the arms, and this will give us a chance to just notice how our arms are feeling also. All right, so sit tall, let those arms drop down to your sides, and you're going to take an inhale and just start to raise the arms. Now you can stop at any height. Right? So if the arms can come all the way overhead, great. If they can't, just go as high as you can and then exhale and let those arms come back down to the sides. All right, let's do that a couple more times. Inhale, reach the arms up, exhale, and take them back down. Let's do that 3 more times. Big breath in. Remember, you're raising your arms or doing the motion that you feel capable of doing that doesn't give you any pain or, kind of anything that feels harmful. Maybe there's tightness, maybe there's some stretch at times, but we want you to avoid anything painful. Last one. All right, now let's go ahead and just start to roll those shoulders. And this really focuses more on the shoulder blades, the bones on our upper back. right? It moves them around more than it moves the actual shoulder joint, right? But it's a great thing to do to improve your posture, improve your circulation, and to reduce tension in those muscles going from the shoulders and the upper back into the neck. So slow it down, really bring those shoulders forward, up, and then squeeze them back and down a couple more times. Forward, up, squeeze back and down. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. It's not uncommon for there to be some cracks and crunches in there as you do those shoulder rolls. It's like giving those tissues, those muscles, a little bit of a massage. All right, now we're going to do another one to help us loosen up the shoulders. You're just going to lift your hands out to the side with the palms facing forward. Elbows could stay low, or you could lift them up kind of to shoulder height, or they might be somewhere in between. All right, so see what works for you. Sit tall, and then we're just going to take one hand behind the head, the other behind the hips or behind the back, and then back out to the side. And then switch. Now, I want you to start to figure out how far behind me can I go, right? Could I drop that top hand down to the base of the neck or between the shoulder blades? Can that bottom hand come up towards the waist or even up towards the shoulder blades? This makes us use our rotators, our rotation motion, our rotator cuff in our shoulders. It just moves those shoulders in rotation, right? So it's a good way to loosen them up. All right, 4 more here. One more. And bring those arms back out to the side and down. Give them a little shake. And then let's go ahead and circle those wrists a few times. Now we're going to do something a little more specific for the wrists to mobilize them and stretch them in just a moment. But let's get everything warmed up a little bit more. All right, let the hands rest in your lap. Sit tall. Turn the head side to side. All right, next time that chin is over towards one shoulder, let's pause there and take a semicircle. Trace across the chest with your chin, bring it over to that other shoulder, and then take it down and across the chest and over to the other side. Couple more times. Try to notice how things are feeling. Being as present as you can with your motion. That's the mindful part. All right, bring that chin back to center. Lift it up. All right, now bring the hands in front of the heart. We're going to do just a little more warming up of the shoulder blades and get the spine involved. So we're going to pull back, squeeze those shoulder blades together and kind of push the ribs and the chest forward a bit. And then push forward, rounding your back some. All right, so you get to decide how much, you're moving through your rib cage and maybe even through the pelvis, rocking back and forth on the hips. Right? See what feels right in your body. Want to get that spine moving, a little bit loosened up. Good. 3 more of these. Pull and push. Pull and push. 1 more. Good, and then bring it back and down. All right, now let's just warm up our legs a little bit. Sit tall. You could hold on to the chair to give you a little stability as we start to march, lifting your knee up as high as you can. Or if you want a little more challenge to your arms and your trunk, hold those arms out to the side, make a nice tight fist, and really tighten up those arm muscles, right? Like you're holding, a couple of buckets of water there. As you're lifting those knees and those thighs up, try not to roll back. Try not to lean back. Now, if those arms get tired after a while, just drop them down. Last 4 marches. Good. Drop the arms down. Well, let's just give the rest of that leg a little movement. Bend and straighten at the knee here. Hold that foot forward and circle your ankle. Go the other way. Good. Other leg, bend and straighten at the knee joint. Good. Keep it forward and circle. Circle the other way. All right, good. Now, we're going to focus in on the wrists a little bit. I'm going to move closer to my camera so that you'll actually be able to see my hands a little bit better than you probably can when I'm all the way back there. All right, so we're going to do a little test first, and then we're going to do some movement, and then we'll retest our flexibility. So take your hands together, palms together, all the fingers together, and just start to drop the hands down and lift the elbows up, right? Just see how far you can go. What does that feel like? What's that stretch like? All right, try not to let the shoulders rise up too much. All right, now we're going to sort of reverse this. Take it to fingertips and then put the backs of your hands together. Try to drop the elbows. Maybe curl your fingers in. All right, now shake that out. We're going to do a little mobilization for the wrist. So what I want you to do is to hold your wrist with one hand. Now I'm holding mine up kind of high so that everyone can see, but it's fine if you have that hand down low. All right, so you don't have to hold it up too high. So I'm just going to use my stabilizing hand to keep my forearm from moving. And then I'm going to go side to side. And this may be a hard movement, right? It may not go very far. Right? Just go as much as you can. Explore that. Be curious about how your body's moving, where things are tight, or where things are stiff, where things are easy. And then let's go up and down. Try to take those fingers down and then fold them up, down, and up. All right, now we're going to put those all together in a circle. All right, so I'm going to go towards my pinky side, up towards the ceiling, over to the thumb side, down towards the floor with my fingers, over to the pinky, up towards the ceiling, over towards the thumb, and down. Now, because I'm holding onto my forearm, it kind of limits me moving the rest of my arm, and I'm really isolating this in the wrist. Let's go the other direction a few times. All right, go over to the thumb, up, into the pinky, down, over to the thumb, up, towards the pinky, down. One more circle. Good. All right. And then just let go, but make a fist with that same hand that you've been working. And just with that fist, make a few circles. Now, do you notice how that forearm tends to move around? That's why we were holding it. Now, let's go ahead and hold it again. Make a few more circles without all that extra movement. All right, and then same hand, last thing, press that hand straight out. Use your other hand to gently pull back. All right. Now, I like to start by, making my hand pressure here right at the knuckles. Now, you could go a little higher towards the fingers, but you just want to be gentle on those finger joints. So if they don't feel like they appreciate that extra leverage, keep it down here. Now, try to really straighten your elbow. All right, and then just shake that hand down. We're going to switch to the other side, and then we're going to recheck all of that. All right, so other hand out. You're going to hold with the stabilizing hand. Hold right there on your forearm. All right, go side to side. Pinky side, thumb side. See what you notice. Is this different than the first hand that you did? Now let's go up and down. All right, now we try to put them into a circle. Go towards the pinky, up towards the ceiling, over towards the thumb, down towards the floor, circle it around, go slow. You're trying to get the most out of it that you can. Remember, each of us are going to have a different, amount of range of motion based on our, body history, things that might have happened to our bodies over time, things that we've done, go the other way. So, don't be looking at my movement and think that yours should look exactly the same. Yours may be bigger, it may be smaller. It's surprising to me every time I do this, how hard this is after a few times, really controlling that movement, making me use these muscles in my forearm. All right, now let go, take a little break, make a fist, and just do a little easy circling. Notice how the forearm likes to turn with this. And that's perfectly fine. They're designed to work together, but sometimes it helps to isolate them to get a little more out. Now go ahead and hold again. Make a few more circles with that wrist, with the hand in a fist. All right, now take that hand forward like a stop sign. You use the other hand to help you get a little stretch on it. Maybe come up a little higher on the fingers if that feels okay. Straighten that elbow. All right, shake it out. Now let's retest. All right, so hands together like prayer hands and sit up tall. Drop the hands in the middle, lift the elbows up. Try to keep the heels of the hands together. So it feels to me like I not only go a little further, it just feels easier in my wrist joints after doing all that warm up. Okay, see what you notice. It could be same, it could be different. Let's reverse it. Go to those hands, backs of the hands together. Try to drop the elbows down. Maybe curl fingers in a few times. All right, and then shake it all out. Very good. Okay, good. So we've gotten a good bit of mobility and stretches going for the wrist. Again, this was my special request last time. So we welcome those requests. If you think of something during today's session that you'd like me to try to focus on next time, just put it in our comments. All right, now we're going to stand and use our chair as a platform, as a base. Now you could also do this on the floor if you felt like you were ready to take a little more load through your arms. You could do this plank work on the ground. You could also go the other direction and do your plank work on a wall if going down to the chair feels like too much weight on your wrist or your shoulders. All right, so let's come to facing your surface, your chair, your wall, your floor. Place those hands down and just start walking the feet back until you're in a nice straight line with your body. Now, if you happen to be doing this on the floor, you could put your knees down. All right, now this is for our overall arm strength, but it's also a good full body strengthener. So we're just holding here for this first round, pushing the chair away from the chest, nice straight elbows, broad upper back, like those shoulder blades are pulling around to the sides. Take one more breath here. All right, and then we're just going to press it back to a downward facing dog. So the hips press back, the arms get a nice stretch here, lengthening out, maybe coming all the way up by your ears, but it's okay if you don't go quite that far back. You could have those arms a little lower than your face if that's what works for you. All right, now let's step 1 foot forward. Now again, if you're happen to be down on the floor, you might decide to put that back knee on the ground as an option. All right, so let's see if you can just come up a little bit. I'm going to give you 2 choices here. If you feel like you need the wall or the chair for some support for your balance, you'll keep your left hand down, or one hand down, right? And then that other hand, we're going to try to circle. Reach it up towards the head and circle back. Now I'm circling the same side as my back leg. All right, it could work the other way though. If you happen to be circling the other side, that's okay. It's a big circle with that arm. You're making the biggest movement you can comfortably make. Try to improve that range of motion and control at your shoulder joint. One more. All right, and then we're going to step back into our plank pose. All right, holding that plank steady. Now, as an option, as we hold our body nice and steady, you could try to pick up one hand and tap the other elbow. Just tap over to the side. You can tap up to the shoulder, or you can even tap the hand. Really doesn't matter, but you're just shifting your weight or trying to. All right, if it feels hard to pick up the hand entirely, well then shift the weight without picking the hand up and try it that way. All right, again, just a little arm strengthening. All right, last one. Let's press it back to our downward dog stretch, pushing the hips back, lengthening out those arms. Take a nice deep breath here. All right, now we'll step the other foot forward. Again, this is sort of a lunge position or a warrior position. Now, last time I kept my hand touching, but I did give you the option to come all the way up. So that's something that you could do if you feel you're okay without holding on. And you're going to circle that other arm, bring it up towards the head, try to sweep it around and back behind you, any amount, right? So again, your movement is yours, mine is mine. They are probably different. Good. About 2 more circles of the arm. And then release it. Let's go ahead and just step all the way in and stand up tall. All right, so we shouldn't need the chair for this, but it's always okay to kind of keep it close if you feel like you might need something to hold on to or touch for balance at any time. All right, stand tall here. All right, we're going to take a little side stretch, but this also gives us an opportunity to reach the arm up and over and then come back to center. Other side, reach up, 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 and then a little bit over. If it's hard for you to hold that arm up straight, you might try placing that hand on the top of the head. All right, let's do one more time each side. Good, and release. Go ahead and roll those shoulders a little bit. All right, now you're going to take a little stretch for the arm. You can use your chair, or you may find that a wall is more suitable for you depending on your setup. So I'm just going to sort of turn my chair this way so that I'll be sideways. So I'm basically going to just get my hand on the chair, and then I'm going to step forward with my body. All right, so the hand is resting on the chair. All right, and I'm stepping forward so that that shoulder is pulling back. And I'm getting a little stretch through the fronts of the shoulder. Again, this works really nicely on a wall. The hand or fingertips is just on the wall, and you step forward a little bit. Now, you could try to add to this a little turn. Turn your head, turn your chest away from that arm a bit. And one more breath here. And then turn back and release that arm. Just take a pause. Take a moment to stand with the arms at your sides and just notice how they feel. Compare the sensation of the arm you just stretched to the arm that you didn't. All right, and then find a way to, kind of get the other arm in position again. It could be that you kind of just have that hand resting on the top of the chair and you step forward. All right, or this might be on the wall. Remember, I'm going to try to avoid arching or letting my hips go too far forward, right? I'm going to try to stay centered over my feet and then just turn the chest, the head away from the arm. All right, and then release and turn it back. Let that arm shake out. Again, just pause a moment and notice how those two sides feel. All right, now let's come back to seated in the chair. Sit tall. Take one arm across the chest. So we're giving that shoulder a little stretch. This time we're stretching the back of the shoulder or the outer shoulder. The one we just did that was helping us stretch the front of the shoulder and the chest. Good. Now we're going to stay with this arm, bring it forward with the palm up and bend that elbow, right? So your hand is just sort of touching your shoulder or your upper back, and then use that other hand here to support and give it a little press up. You might find that you could take that supporting hand and reach it over the top of the head to pull on the shoulder. Sometimes we're going to need to leave it forward. All right, let's release that side, shake it out, let that blood flow back down into the hand. And then take the other arm across the chest. Good, one more breath here. And then bring it forward, palm is up, bend the elbow, give yourself a pat on the back, lift or press that elbow up, holding onto it with that other hand if possible. All right, and release it. Let both arms drop down, let that blood flow back down there. All right, now we're going to finish with one of my favorites for not just stretching the arms, but also giving that upper back and chest some mobilization. And it's a great place to tap into our breathing, kind of use our breath to feel the body. All right, so we're going to start with taking those arms way back behind, sitting up tall. You might be able to reach back and hold your chair. So if that works for your body proportions and your chair setup, see if there's somewhere on the chair that you can hold on to. Roll those shoulder blades back and down as much as you can in this position and lift up into the chest. Just try to take some breaths right in there to the space under your collarbones, over to the front of your underarm. Good, one more big breath. And release. Now let those arms let go, come forward, and we're going to give ourselves a big hug. So arms wrap around the chest. Try to get those fingers to really work back around those shoulder blades. And then take that deep breath into your upper back. See if you can feel that space between your fingers spreading out as you inhale. You might even drop your chin or your face down into that little hole created by your arms. All right, now notice which arm is on top. I've got my right arm on top, but just remember, try to remember, sweep the arms back. Again, see if you can grab hold of anything. And if you can't grab hold, remember you go in as far as you can. Reach back. You can still get that lift of the chest. Still breathe into the collarbones and the upper ribs. All right, release, and then give yourself a hug again. You're bringing the other arm on top. All right, so I switched over to my left arm on top. I'm gonna really try to get those fingers to work my way back on my upper back. And a couple deep breaths. Try to feel that space between your shoulder blades spreading out, moving with that inhale. And then release. Let those arms drop down. Let's go ahead and just repeat our shoulder rolls like we did at the very beginning. Repeat those wrist circles. Good, and then let's take one more breath. Reach the arms up. Exhale. Let them come all the way back down. Bring those hands together in a gesture of gratitude. You can also sort of check in. How do those wrists feel? Was that a good stretch? Is that something maybe you can incorporate? But just take a moment of gratitude to your body, to this opportunity to move mindfully in your body. I'm grateful to AARP of Alabama for giving us these opportunities to work together from home. We thank you for joining us, and we again welcome any comments or suggestions that you may have. We love to incorporate your requests. We hope you'll join us next Tuesday at 10 a.m. for more mindful movement.
Thank you, Becca. Fabulous session. We just appreciate all of you for tuning in to our Mindful Movement series. And if you have any questions or if you'd like comments, please feel free to put them in the chat. We do have a survey coming out to you, and we'd like for you to complete that. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. Thank you, Becca, and we'll see everybody next Tuesday. Bye.